Hello. Hi, Cami.
Hello, Emily.
Welcome, everyone, to Microsoft Accelerators and AI. We are excited that you're here, and we're going to get rolling. My name is Emily. I am from Canmore, Alberta, which is on Treaty 7 territory. And I'm really happy to be here with Cami, who is also in Alberta.
We've got
Hi,
Team
Cami.
Alberta this morning. Yes, I come from kind of the other side of the bottom of Alberta. I'm right in the east corner. In fact, I'm on Treaty 4 and 7 territory, kind of right where they join up there. I'm from Medicine Hat. Emily and I are both excited to be daytime teachers and then Logix facilitators.
It's true. We encourage you to find out the land that you are on and the traditional territory. There's a rich history all across Turtle Islands. We encourage everyone to go to nativeland.ca and find out more.
Ooh, sorry.
So, as Cami said, we both work with Logix Academy as contractors, and we're really happy to be part of the extended team at Logix Academy. There is so much that happens at Logix. We encourage you to go to logixacademy.com and see what the entire team is up to. And we are grateful for all of the partners listed there. It's wild to see that growing, and really grateful for Microsoft in particular for this session.
Yes, today is our Microsoft Day of AI Summit. Next week, we're going to have a Google AI Summit. So we hope you'll come back next week and join us then.
Awesome. And as I mentioned, there's a lot happening at logixacademy.com, including all of the STEM products. Encourage you to go and check some of those out. Yes, again, a massive thank you to Microsoft for their generous support of this workshop and their commitment to fostering a broader understanding of AI, especially in education, which we're going to go over some of those tools today.
And Emily, this is a really great certificate that we just want to bring everyone's awareness to. There's a little bit.ly, a short link at the bottom. We're going to show that again at the end. If you complete that certificate, Microsoft will send you because we're a Microsoft AI training partner, they'll send you a certificate that says you have completed an hour of AI training. And so that might be great for a portfolio or if you need to collect hours. So, Emily, we are today on our Microsoft Day of AI going to look at Microsoft Accelerators. Now, here's the interesting thing about these, Emily, is that these accelerators, Microsoft Accelerators, have actually been using AI for a long time. So before generative AI broke onto the scene almost 3 years ago now, Microsoft has been using AI to build tools that help with all sorts of student accessibility and UDL and just help students be more efficient in so many ways. And so we are going to dive into some of those. These are some of the ones that we're going to look at today. And Emily, this presentation this morning is going to be loaded with all sorts of links to more training, links to more resources. And so you might find Emily put some that Emily's putting some of those in the chat. Oh, actually, speaking of the chat, Emily, we can connect with you over on YouTube. So we would love it if you would let us know in the YouTube chat where you're joining us from. And if you've used Microsoft Accelerators before, that is something that we love to know. And so Emily will keep an eye on that and let us know if there's any questions. If you have questions or anything else, that is your way to connect with us there. And again, that link on the screen right down here is the link to our deck filled with literally dozens of links to help you out with all sorts of Microsoft Accelerator experience. So the very first one that we're going to look at is probably my favorite, and it is Microsoft Speaker Coach was my first love, and Microsoft has introduced Speaker Progress. And so with lots of these accelerators, Emily, we're going to find that there's a coach and then a progress tool. And so I'll kind of explain the difference here when we talk about speaker progress to start, and it applies to most of the others that we're working on. So speaker progress is, again, that AI powered tool, and it's built right into Microsoft Teams. So as a teacher, if you're using Teams and assignments and the whole classwork or the whole classroom ecosystem, then the Microsoft Progress version, Speaker Coach, Reading Coach, or Reading Progress, Speaker Progress, sorry, those are the ones that you want to really dig into. And so the Progress versions built into Microsoft Teams gives you so much data, and it connects to all of everything else that's going into your Microsoft Teams learning environment. And so the feedback's a little bit deeper. The teacher gets a better insight into there. So if you're using Teams, use the Progress version. Now, the great thing is that for those of us who don't necessarily have access to Microsoft Teams in our classrooms, Microsoft also has a more of a web-based version that is often called a coach. And Microsoft Speaker Coach in particular is an AI-powered tool built into PowerPoint. And again, it's been there since before the big generative AI explosion. And it is really a powerful tool. And both of these, Progress or Coach, are great for students to practice their public speaking. Sorry, Emily, my screen's going a little haywire there. Okay, there we go. So let's dive in and take a look at what happens. So I'm going to do a demo, hopefully for you here in a second. What we're going to find is that basically we load up our PowerPoint, we turn on Speaker Coach, we talk, and then what happens is it's going to listen and identify our errors. It's going to look at things like mispronunciations, filler words. It's going to, if we turn on our camera, it's going to look for eye contact and any kind of movement. And so students can practice over and over. Every time at the end, it gives us a report. And so we can practice so that we can help our students boost their progress. So in Speaker Progress, so this is inside of Teams, you can click on any of these different tiles to customize the feedback that you want. So again, in Teams, we have more customization. And we're going to go over, and I'm going to pop into a slideshow, a Microsoft PowerPoint about Microsoft Copilot, and we're going to practice. I'm just going to do a little demo of what it looks like inside to run the Speaker Coach. And so hopefully, Emily, one thing that might happen, we're sharing with the tab. So if the pop-ups aren't showing inside of PowerPoint, let me know, and maybe we'll try sharing there a little differently. So
sounds good.
Are we seeing my different PowerPoint tab there?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to click on, actually, I'll just start from the beginning and we'll kind of go through. So I'm going to click on slideshow, and then right here, you can see rehearse with coach. And so I'm going to click on body language because I want it to show my body language as well. So I'm going to click on body language.
I love this tool so much. It's such a great feedback and immediately correcting what you need to correct when you're
Yes. Okay. So we're going to turn on coach. Where is my coach? Come on, coach. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to, on my pop-up, oh, I don't know if we're going to see this just a sec. I'm getting a pop-up. I think we're getting it now. Yes, I'm going to click allow. You're not seeing my camera pop up, but it's saying allow camera, allow microphone. Yes. Oh, good. Okay. So see that little black box there? That is what I was hoping we would see. And so we're seeing that. So right now I'm psyching myself up. I'm going to go through my PowerPoint, and I've got it clicked on. Do you see? I've got the little tiny box clicked real-time feedback. So what we should see on the screen is we should see some of the hints that it's giving me. And if they're not showing up on the live screen because of my share settings, then I'll kind of point those out as we're going through. And so basically I'm going to just click start rehearsing, and then I'm just going to walk through some of these pages of this as if I was the student. Okay, so now You can see me here. I'm using Microsoft Copilot in PowerPoint and Word. And sometimes if I talk really fast because I was really nervous, then it might talk and tell me that I'm going really too fast because right now I'm doing introduction to Microsoft Copilot. Can you see there it's suggesting that I speak a little bit slower? So now in my introduction to Microsoft Copilot, I don't think I can go slow enough. Oh, there it is. A little faster, right? So too fast, too slow, it will pick that up. Now, what it also might notice is that I'm doing all kinds of really a little too much arm waving here. Hand gestures are good, but maybe a little too much. Okay, so if I move back, oh, it says move nearer. And if I get too close, it'll say, hey, back up a little bit. Now, the other thing that should happen is if I start to read word for word, it should, let's see, tell me that I'm using too many ums, and like if I'm reading like really like word for word and like identically what's on the screen, then like it will also tell me that I should not read word for word. So let's give the word for word a try. Empowering educators with AI tools. AI powered lesson planning. Copilot helps educators create lesson plans quickly using natural language prompts, saving time and effort. Oh, there it get right away. Did you see it? Told me to summarize. And now I'm going to really speed up and I'm going to talk really fast. Oh, shit. Ooh, I didn't mean to say that. And I put my hand in front of my face and it told me not to use profanity. And so we can keep going on here, but isn't this a powerful, powerful tool? Look how responsive it is. And it is just, again, if I were to read here, it's going to tell me I'm using too many ums and too many likes. And I'm trying to think of some of the other filler words that it uses, and I can't think of any off the top of my head, but we're going to just keep going through here. So we've been at this for 2 minutes. We've got lots of different flags, and I'm going to click pause, and I'm going to stop. So maybe I have to go back to my deck. Ooh. Okay, why did that not?
So you can totally see that a tool like that, and I'm just thinking back to doing a lot of recording of videos and using those fillers. This is a really good feedback tool to be able to catch those,
Okay,
because you don't really catch them unless you're watching yourself back in a recording. So it's nice to do this live with the coach.
Oh, okay. Now, this didn't show up before. So you can see that it has pace, filler words, pitch. Oh, I didn't vary my pitch. Pronunciation, I forgot to do that. You could see that originality, right? It didn't like it when I was reading word for word. We've got some audience engagement, and I had the body language turned on there. So for some reason, those coach settings didn't trigger the first time. Now, let's see here. Where is my, what didn't happen, Emily, is it didn't pop into my, usually I get
like a report.
And so I don't know where that went. That was really bizarre. And so instead of waiting for that, let's just, or trying to search and find that, I'm pretty sure that I have one in here. This is speaker progress. And so you can see speaker progress is a little bit more built in. So you've got full screen here. Notice at the top, very similar comments to what I was able to have it generate in Speaker Coach. So this is the student. This is in progress now through Microsoft Teams. They've got the little ums at the top there. Face the camera, avoid fillers, speed up, vary your pitch. They were too monotone. And this student was using repetitive terms like marvelous or fantastic. And so they have a report here. So that gives some strengths and then some opportunities. And at the bottom, I didn't remember to do any mispronunciations, but they do have some mispronunciations. And I'd say that's probably one of the number one things that happens when students present and when they're nervous is that they mispronounce words or they haven't practiced enough and they don't know what those big words are. So that list of, hey, make sure you go back and practice these words is excellent. And okay. I usually have a screenshot of the report that comes up from coach. So it's very similar. You get nice graphs and you get all sorts of great information there. And so what I usually have my students do is that I have them screenshot the report that comes up, and then I have them actually paste that onto the last page of their PowerPoint just so that I can say, hey, or I can see that they've practiced, right? So if I'm in
Do you have the view of that, Cami?
No, I don't. That's what I'm like. I thought I had one in my deck, and I love that view here. I wonder. Trying to think of one where I know I would have that in. I can't figure out, like in real time in my brain here, Emily, why that didn't. Were you seeing my screen, or was I just showing something different? Were you seeing this as I went through it?
No.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So I just talked that whole time without sharing the right tab. Okay. Let's go through here really quick. Okay, Emily, you got to keep me on track with that tab. So I was showing you here through the progress. So this is a Microsoft Teams. Students get a full screen. You can see right above the student's head there. They're getting the language there. And these are screenshots from Microsoft Progress. This is what a progress report would look like for a student after they had finished using Progress in Teams. And the progress report from the PowerPoint when you're just using Coach is excellent. And for some reason, let's just see one more time if I can get that to load. I don't know where that went today. And so hopefully it just pops up later and we find it. But it's really nice. It has graphs. It has a list of your words. It has a list of your fillers, your times. It has a little speed graph that says when you're too fast or too slow. It's super powerful. And I'm very sad that it didn't populate for us today.
So back on that screen where it says to feedback in that screenshot, is that coming from the coach or is that coming from you as a teacher going
this
back?
One right here?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, no, this as soon as the student's done, and like normally this should have popped up something. Actually, it's better in Reading Coach. This pops up. I haven't done any of this, right? So that's such a powerful point. Thanks for pointing that out, Emily. This is students practicing on their own. This isn't them waiting or lining up or even having, right? Like this is just them. They can practice on their own over and over. It does well in a busy classroom. So this kid's sitting at home in his easy chair, but you can have kids all over the classroom. I usually have them here's a little trick. I usually have them sit with their back to the wall, holding up their screen. And so what happens is they're not getting noise from over their back. Their voice is going into the screen. And so you can have all your kids practicing their report at the same time. So
this as a teacher is a great tool because it frees you up to really be working one-on-one with specific students too.
Absolutely. And they get rehearsal time where there's sometimes, to actually have kids practice in front of each other is hard to do. So having them practice here is certainly an easier lift. Okay. Now, I just actually want to spend 10 minutes finding you one of those reports because they're so powerful, but we're going to keep going. Okay. Next, we're going to go to Microsoft Reading Coach. And again, Reading Coach and Reading Progress. Coach.microsoft.com is a web version that you can use even if you don't have Microsoft Teams. And again, like the Progress versus Reading Coach for Speaker Progress or Speaker Coach, you can see here, Progress is built into Teams. Reading Coach is web-based and allows people who don't have Teams to use this great tool. Reading Coach is actually now, for a long time, was only available in Windows. Now it's available anywhere. So I love that. And I'm going to give you a couple. Let's just make sure here. Okay, we're going to try out Coach first. I've got it. We're going to pop over into a tab, just point out a couple different things so I don't miss them. One of the new parts is that you can create AI stories. They have a leveled library, leveled text that have the Lexile numbers there from ReadWorks, or you could add your own. So one of the things that I love about that, so for example, we do a lot with science of reading. We use UFly, which is very much a science of reading sound-based program, and it has readings. We can upload those and put those into Reading Coach. And so here you can see you can choose a Lexile level, right up into high school, junior high. You get rewards. There's a lifetime progress. Reading Coach also is a great tool for home use. Initially, the downfall to Reading Coach was that teachers didn't get the dashboard that they did. So the dashboard kind of came with reading progress in Teams, and students could use Reading Coach, but teachers couldn't necessarily see the data. And Microsoft just keeps improving and improving that. And when we pop over, we'll see that there is a teacher tab now as well. And so these are some guides to Reading Coach. Okay, so Emily, let's make sure I'm in my own Reading Coach right now.
Yes.
Okay, so I just logged in here, and you can see up here I'm logged in as Cami Cannikins, and this is new. There is a teacher view. And so here I can create a practice. And so let's just call this practice November. I can pick a due date. Let's put next Friday. And so then I can let students choose, or I can do an upload. Okay, so then with the upload, I've clicked on single passage. I can have a passage from the library. We'll click in there, or I can create a passage. So I could actually write it, or even better, I could copy and paste it or add my own there. So let's go to, actually we'll go to the library here. And so this is very much, so this is the teacher side. Now teachers are able to push items out to their students. That's a newer feature. And students, if they were choosing their own, they would see something very similar here. And so you can see this is 110, 120. So these are really low. And if I click on level 8, you'll see here we're into the 800 Lexile levels, even higher. Lots of informational texts. This will be the teen who won a Nobel Prize. That'll be about Malala. And so you can see these will be longer and much more detailed items. Ooh, the fish, when fish walked. I know I just want to get reading here.
Yeah.
Let's go back to level 1, just because we'll do that for a nice piece here. So I've chosen, okay, I actually have to choose. So I'm going to click this one. So now I can take a look. This is a simple one pager. I can click next. And then I can now put this out into a join code. So we're not using Microsoft Teams in this scenario. I can put this, I could pop this actually into a Google Classroom. I could pop this into Seesaw. I could just put this on the screen. I could probably make this, oh, there, I can copy that link. I can put that join code anywhere else, and then students can do that. So over on the student side, actually, here, let's do this. I'm gonna.
So question here,
Yes.
I mean, does it have decodable stories?
That is a good question.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that my biggest downfall with Reading Practice or Reading Coach is that it is, as a person who's very steeped in decodables and kind of that science of reading, I would say that they haven't nailed that part. And so that's its weakness. They don't have a lot of great decodables in there. Like you can notice, actually, let's just open this up so we can join this. So I'm going to open this up and you can see. So I'm going to start. This is the student experience. I'm going to allow my microphone. I'm not sure if you saw that pop up. I'm going to just click start reading here. I want you to see what it looks like from the student perspective. You can see, if you're not familiar, what it's opening up is in Microsoft's immersive reader. So then we have all of those powerful tools. Now, that being said, what you'll probably notice as I read through this is that it's not, I wouldn't say it's a decodable text. It didn't let me pick based on, the phonemes or the words or sounds that we had already done. We're choosing by Lexile level. So the library does not have decodable text, but what we've been doing in my districts is we've been, UFly, for example, or wherever you're getting your decodable texts from, those come in PDFs. You can upload those and then send those out to students that way so that you can have students get the practice. Let's just take a look at reading coach here. And again, more powerful if you are inside of progress. I'm going to click start reading, get a countdown. Some people find it hard to wake up in the morning. That is a problem. A woman had an idea. She made a speculation. Okay, I'm going to just stop right there. Oops, I thought I was pausing. You can see here that it's given me 59% accuracy. I was actually going to go in and show some of the immersive reader tools. 33 seconds reading time. It gives me a list of words that I can practice. So these were some of the problem words that I had. It missed some as well, but now look at this. I can click on practice words.
So these words were the most challenging for you. Select any word to tackle them again.
Do you hear her talking to me?
Yes.
Okay. So now I can click on this one.
When you're ready, press the microphone and read the word out loud.
Idea.
We can't hear your voice.
Okay.
Try reading the word louder.
Idea.
Great reading. You got it.
Now, usually they are smarter than that. Let's try again. So one of the other things I can do now, I can click if I want to hear the word first.
Morning.
She'll say it for me. And then there is a picture dictionary. I'm not sure why it's not coming up for me right now. Let's try this one. Morning. Morning. Okay, so it's very encouraging. I'm going to skip this one. And mad. Okay, so there you can see that I didn't get it. It's red. It didn't give me the yay. Mad.
That's not quite it. Give it another try.
Add. All right, so you can see that if I'm struggling to say that word, it will not always say that I'm correct, and then I can go back and I can hear the word. So it does keep track. Here's the last one. Problem. All right, and so I clicked on the little settings cog. This is new. We can pick our coach, and then here we can also adjust the sensitivity. There's some data that we can export that's new. So there's some little things that we can turn it from dark to light. One of the things that I do like is that we can kind of adjust the sensitivity. So sometimes, for example, if we have ELL students, we might roll back the sensitivity so it's a little less sensitivity. And then supportive, which is the mode where it's like, yay, you did it, right? Where it's like blowing a lot of sunshine my way. We can put it to more direct so that if I'm not great, my feedback coach will be a little bit more apt to do that.
These words were the most challenging for you. Select any word to tackle them again.
So it's interesting here that I just practiced them all. And it's not reading that. That's usually the ones I've practiced would have stars. So that is word practice. And then I could go back and read again. So Emily, any comments to address? Any questions? How are you doing?
Yeah. So are you able to show how to upload your own like story into
Yes. Okay.
the
So
program?
a couple ways. Let's go. So students from here, my home. So the student dashboard, I just wanted to show here. This is kind of how the awards work. From the student side, there's create your own AI story. We'll maybe take a look at that. Read from our passage, which is I did. And then I'm going to click on this in the student view, but it's very similar in the teacher view. Test passage. Okay. And so here they would want a copy and a paste.
Okay.
And I think it's still the same in the teacher version. So you'd have to, instead of uploading your PDF, open your PDF, copy the text from the PDF and paste it in there. So let's just pop over past. Okay. I'm just going to see if I can add real quickly. No. So I don't necessarily want to go through all those steps again, but it's very similar in the student version there. That you would paste your text in there. So that's how we would get our decodables in there. And then another feature is an AI story. And so you can see here that I can have a main character. Emily, who are we going to be today?
The frog.
The frog. Okay, where are we going to be?
Let's be in a castle. A frog in a castle.
Okay. Yes. And I'll just go with level 1 just because that's pretty quick. Now here again, we can change the language the story is in and accent. So if I click on this, let's go to, well, since we're in Canada, we should show French. Now that was French. French. Anyways, let's just see what happens here with the French. Level 1. Okay. So I'm just going to press not yet here. So here we can see the Microsoft Immersive Reader features. If you're not familiar, this is one of Microsoft's superpowers. We can increase the font size if necessary. I really like that we can increase the spacing, right? So we can make the text more or less dense. We can change the font size, and there are some different reading color combinations. So for example, if you have a student with Erland syndrome or other dyslexic needs where sometimes that color helps, you can leave that. Then we also have some reading preferences. We can focus. So as I'm reading that line, oopsie. Oh, there's the picture dictionary. We can see that line. And okay, well now let's just practice. Okay, so let's see what it looks like in French. We'll practice. This is brave for me. All right, so start reading. Luna, la grenouille, était dans le château. Elle a trouvé une clé. Elle se demandait où cela était passé. Luna voulait savoir et commença à sauter.
I mean, I think that was great.
Thank you. What I would say, I'm going to say I'm done reading. So what happens here is, this might not be a great way to show the AI. I get to choose what's next. So the first option is the secret behind the key, or the dangerous voyage to come. Now, when I look at this, I chose level 1 reading, and this is where that decodable question
Mhm.
comes up. Like, this would be my criticism. These are tough words in level 1 French or level 1 English. And so that would be kind of my critique, is that I'm just going to press not yet again, that the level is often maybe more challenging than I would have. Like, this is not necessarily grade 1 French or English. You can see I have the picture dictionary turned on, and then I also have grammar options. This is really helpful, especially for new readers. We can turn on syllables.
Mhm.
We can have it color code the different words. We can turn that off or on. Sometimes I just find that a little bit distracting. We can also click show labels, right? So if we wanted those pieces to be labeled, but I think there's times for that, but not necessarily while I am reading. Okay, so that is the AI generated, and so now Luna is in a dark hallway. The walls are high and cold. She sees a big door, and she wants un serreur qui semblait parfait. She wants. I don't know what this word is. Un serreur. Serrure. Huh. That one I'm stuck. But she wants in. She will the key work. She's excited. All right. So that's a lot.
That's the lock.
Yeah.
So
Oh, serrure is a lock. Yes. Okay. Thank you for whoever's. Is that you helping me out there, or someone in the chat?
it's
Thank
Google.
Okay. Okay. Good old Google. So anyways, we can see that we can read in French. And so lots of times that's actually fairly new, the language, other languages there. And so for all of our immersion coaches, that's great. Are there any other questions there?
There are not.
Okay. So we can see here that this is a progress board. I've done 12 practices in my lifetime. My accuracy, my words per minute. As kids keep reading, they unlock more of the characters for the AI stories. Here's a good example again of the decodable, I'm going to say, issue. Lily's Island Adventure. This is supposed to be a level 1 reading. We do not give kids island in a
Mhm.
decodable
Right.
world, right? So some of their choices about
Right.
the readings, as a science of reading, someone we use decodables, and we really help kids progress through science of reading, that their library isn't super at that. I will absolutely say that. Okay. Let's go back to our deck. So there are some great, these are great. Microsoft has these great one pagers. There's these colorful items, and they've got all sorts of like the tips and the big things that you need to know. There's a whole library of them. So these are great to download or save. There's the link for each of those if you want to take a look at those. There is actually in Learn. Let's see. Let's pop over here again. Help me mind my tabs so they're showing on screen, Emily. This is inside of Microsoft Learn, and Microsoft Learn is a super powerful spot where you can practice or basically do a training in any of these. And so I've got lots of these linked throughout the deck. Mine's showing as I haven't completed it because I'm not signed in. But if you do, like you work on it for 10 minutes and then you have to go make supper, it'll come back. It'll keep your progress. And they've added lots of AI, teacher information, AI ethics right now, that AI is a bigger issue than when they first started using this. So you can see in an hour, you can learn all about the tool there. Back to our deck. I'm just going to go quickly what it looks like if you are a Microsoft Teams user. So this is reading progress. And so this in Teams, you can import your decodables as PDFs. There again, we see the Teams is always that more powerful version. So there you can see the import Word or a PDF. This is what their library looks like. inside of Teams. This is the student view. So one of the nice things about Teams is that it gives us a student view so we can check out what it's like. Now you can see on the right-hand side, we can see the reading level, and then down at the bottom, I get those defaults, right? Do I want to add some comprehension questions? Those are available inside Microsoft Progress. I think I have a screenshot of that. Do I want video on or off? And so I can force that video on, depending on my circumstances, that can be usable. Now, here's the comprehension questions. I can add my own, or I can click on the AI generate questions. And of course, I can always modify those because I don't think that AI does questions it looks fancy and sexy, but the quality isn't always great. So I can absolutely edit those. In this question, I've chosen 3. And so then you can see here, those pop up. There we go. And then inside of reading, this is creating a reading progress assignment. You can see now this is inside Teams. This is just an assignment like you would be familiar with. And then this is the huge magic of reading progress, is it has such deep feedback. And reading coach is kind of surface level, but this is a truly amazing tool. So what happens is there's a key about the different kinds of errors. There's like mispronunciation, what else? Self-correction. I wish that was clearer. I might have a clearer version. It's got all of these different things. So what happens is the AI analyzes all of it. It says its reading pace, its accuracy, it does all that. And then as a teacher, you can go through and you can say landforms. She said landforms wrong. What? And then when you click on landforms, it'll go, just see the little slider underneath her picture. It'll find the spot in the video. You can listen to it and you can say, oh, you're full of it, Microsoft AI. She said that right. And then you can correct it. So it gives you this great overview. So you get at a glance, color-coded feedback that is also available to the student. You can add your own feedback. So you can see over here on the right that you can add feedback as well. You can give that a score if you want. You don't have to. You can turn the scoring off. But you can go in and you can listen to what the feedback was, and you can change or update any of it. So that is super, super powerful. So that is inside of Microsoft Teams. So if you're using Microsoft Teams and you haven't used Reading Progress, you need to run and check that out.
That would be a great progress report to also share with families. If
yes.
In for those meetings as well.
Yes. And so here, let's just see here. A little bit picture of
literacy is so important, and it's my job to help the kids grow in that and to see the value in that and to break the mindsets of like, oh, I'm just a bad reader, I don't like to read.
I don't have to worry about other people just looking at me and staring at me. It's just
It's already done. Having that recording, I'm able to spend ample amount of time to analyze, and instead of using my instructional time, it allows me to use my planning time to figure out how do I intentionally approach every student, the whole class. This is what I'll teach them. And
okay, we're going to look at insights a little bit later on, but I want to draw your attention to this is inside of Teams again, the speaker coach, the reading coach, that all feeds into Microsoft's Insights universe. And so you get this really incredible data as students do activities over time. You get a line graph of how they've progressed. So I just want to note that that's
maybe this one specific individual student, I need to address with him or her this specific area. Reading progress.
Okay, so we're not going to watch that whole video there, but you can see that there's that was an individual student, and we also, oh goodness, what did I do there? Did I stop sharing my screen?
You did,
Emily.
That's okay. It just means people get to see us a little bit.
Okay. I'm not sure how that happened. Okay, I know how that happened. I'll try not to let that happen again. we can also see a class view in reading progress. So here again is one of those great one-pagers, and another tool that's tied into the whole ecosystem inside of Teams is Microsoft Reflect. That's where it started out, but it's also available now as a web browser tool. And so Microsoft Reflect, again, if you're in Teams, you can choose it from the pull down when you go to create an assignment. It's also available on the web. And so you get these lovely feelings monsters, we'll call. Have you ever used Reflect, Emily?
I haven't explored it too much yet. No.
All right. And so we're going to pop into Reflect. A couple benefits is it really helps kids grow their emotional vocabulary. And we'll see that as they're choosing how they're feeling today. And then there's a whole, and actually even in the web version, they've built out this great library of videos and activities and all sorts of things for teachers to say, okay, if your class is feeling blue or they're feeling stressed, here's an activity. Sometimes a video, but not necessarily. There's a whole library of activities that you can help to build up that social emotional awareness and language with students. And so Reflect is a great gateway to that. This is, I think, from the Teams version, where you get a little bit more in-depth setup. And then this actually probably is from the online version. Again, you get this great teacher dashboard. What we're seeing right here is you can see the little heart on the left. So that shows we're in Reflect. And so these are down the right-hand side questions that have gone out to the students. And you can see with those bar graphs at a glance how your class is feeling. So if we go almost to the bottom here on August 3rd, whoa, there was a lot of orange and red that day. What was going on, right? And so you can dive into those results a little bit deeper. Then we also get this class view of how our feeling monsters are working. And so you can see, I can say, oh, who's this red guy up here, right? And so I can hover over and we can see who that student is and what word they chose. And then you can see here with Adele, who's currently happy today, we can see that previously she was hurt, stressed. And so she's back to happy. And I can say, whew, I'm glad Adele is having a good day. And so this is just such a nice visual. And again, students are using their language. These are some of the activities. And you can see here, there's a meditate, a move, play, there's music, there's little podcasts. And so there's this great library of activities. If you look at the time, like a 1-minute video, a 2-minute video, a coloring book session, right? So these aren't huge, long pieces. These are just quick little activities that we can pop into our day to help that out. Now, there again is that guide for Microsoft Reflect. Emily, I'm going to head over to Microsoft Reflect. Okay, so let's see here. Where is my login button? All right, there we go. So get started. Okay, so you can see this is inside of my library. Now, I'd love it if I could give you a link. It is domain exclusive, right? So I couldn't give a link right now. So it does have to be used in your domain, but let's take a look at what this looks like. So there you can see my feelings monsters. There's a QR code there. Like, again, this is the non-Teams version. So if I'm using this for my class, I can have them go to reflect.do. They can put that check-in code. You could try that, but I don't think it's going to work outside of our domain. And so if I hover over anybody here, here's Nixon. He's bored. There's another one, calm, right? So you can see what they are feeling. I can hide names if I just want to go over and say, okay, what do you think this little feelings monster is showing? What's the image, right? So we can start to match expression with words. And so successful, you'll notice the people with successful, they've got like the little medal on them. I guess this guy must be successful too. Is this one bored, right? So we could, make some suggestions. What's that guy? Calm. Oh, look at the calm guy. How is he calm? Can you see what he's doing there?
Yes.
Right. And then this one's jumping up, right? Or no, that one's sitting cross-legged, I guess, right? So you can see that's actually they've made them even more interesting that way. So that is Reflect. I'm going to this is all data that I can share. And then let's just pop down here. And these are some of the meditation videos. There's some dancing, stretching, moving videos, a few little games, right? So connection wheel. Oh, guess the emotion. All right. So I just have to click on this. Ask questions. Okay, let's go included. All right. So your opponent needs to guess, ask questions. So a little matching game there. All right. So music, bird watcher, flower of life. So, just relaxing. So if you need a calming piece, there's some music there. Short little podcasts. Look at these 4 minutes being included, boredom, confusion, frustration. So lots and lots of elements there in Reflect. Now, again, this is the web version that I'm showing you live right here. But if we go into the Teams version, you get more information, more data. And when you use Reflect through Teams, it again pops into your Insights dashboard. Okay, we've got, good. We're going to go through I'm just going to mention search progress real quick here. So again, search progress, search coach. This is how under learning accelerators that you would assign search progress in Teams. And then what it actually does is it leads the kids through helping them pick and become aware of how they search. So you'll see here, if the student has a topic, let's say they want to search for forests, domain, file type, date range, it's giving them some of those Boolean search options so that they can start to be aware of them, right? So are we going to find a more accurate or reliable piece of information from a .com site versus a .edu site or from a .org site? So it's going to teach them all those different kinds of pieces. It's really having them as they search sites, it gives them questions to think about. You can see here these little tabs that it puts up, NewsGuard. It's given them some information, right? How accurate, what's the country. So it really pulls out information that students should be looking at as they are searching. So it just kind of is a search guide.
So Cami, the screen that you're on right now is still the podcast one.
Thank you. Emily, you got to help me out. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm so hard to control with that. We were just coming in. So search progress. You can see here domain, file type. Okay, there is, they're doing astronauts. What do astronauts eat? And then you can see there's a nasa.gov. It's got like a safety check. It alerts students to the domain. And then here you can see that this was an assignment that was turned on. The search component was turned on through Teams. Assessment or an assignment summary. So you can see here, oopsie, there we go. How many websites were open? Did they save sources? The kinds of things that they clicked on. So as a teacher, you can kind of see what their patterns are. Searches by Christy Klein for astronaut food. So again, inside of Teams, we get all of this great data. And then again, it's also available as Search Coach. We saw progress built into Teams, more information there. As we come in for our closing, Emily, I mentioned Insights before. We'll just look at a couple quick screens here. Insights, FERPA, GDR compliant, So lots of safety features built in. And here's a little GIF. So you come on over. If you look at Insights, there you see all of your students. And you can see there's reading scores, challenging words. They're coming into their physical science class. And search coach, you can see reflect. I'm just see if I can stop that. Oh, I couldn't. There's a quick little video here. Let's see. I think we've got
Use Insights routinely to help identify your students'
just
needs.
enough time.
In Teams, select the More Added Apps, then Insights. From the All Classes view, select any class to drill in. The Class Overview page surfaces trends. This includes actionable student information at a glance.
Who submitted, who hasn't.
Select Digital Activity to see how engaged students are
I like that.
and assess their workload.
There's a reflect data.
Mm-hmm.
Select Assignments to see student grades, how they're progressing, and more.
You see it uses
Select
color
Reading
there.
Progress to view students' accuracy rate and challenging words. Select Reflect to view students' self-assessments from in-Teams.
So, oops, that is a super powerful, that reflect piece, right? So that's where that data, you get the student. You can see how they've been doing week after week. What does that look like? And then again, it's under the More tab if you're not seeing it in your assignment or inside your Teams, and you go and you find that in Classroom. And then I had a few of those as well. Communications keeps track of how often they're in Teams. So if they haven't been in there for a while, if they're not doing your homework, you'll see that. It has all sorts of like hotspot cards, like, ooh, check out these 4 students, or these 2 haven't done anything, or these ones haven't had any growth, or these ones are feeling sad for weeks on end, right? So it gives us lots of those pieces as well. You can pin students if you're concerned about certain ones. And again, great class overview and individual data there. So lots and lots of information more on Insights. Again, a Microsoft Learn module will look just like the one that we had previously when we popped in for Reading Coach and Reading Progress. Okay, Emily, your turn.
Awesome. Thanks, Cami. We got there. Yeah, I think my personal fave of all of these accelerators is the Speak Your Coach.
I always start with that one because I want to make sure that it's just so simple. It's built into PowerPoint. PowerPoint 365 is free to anybody. And so that one is just so accessible. And over time, they've pulled those powerful accelerators outside of Teams, or they used to only be, so many of them were only available in Teams.
Right.
And initially the web versions were, pretty slim in their features, but they just keep adding and adding and adding. And so for those of us who don't operate inside of a Teams classroom daily, we can do so much more in those. Remind us about our certificate here again, Emily, because that is a super important part of today.
Yes. So take some time, go to that QR code. And I think you said it takes not too long to do that.
No,
so
it's
definitely
like
worth it. Collect those for your portfolio, put it where you need to put it, LinkedIn, wherever. But it's definitely something worth getting. And thank you for Microsoft for making that available. I'm also going to pop in the link again. So that's the link to Cami's slide deck. Make sure you have that. And thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Cami, for walking us through and showing all of those really powerful tools, right, that we have access to for our students.
Yes,
especially the reflect, right?
Apologies again for the screen times when I couldn't keep up with my screen sharing. Sorry about that. Sorry, Emily, and I cut you off then.
Yeah, no worries. And I think that reflect tool is really important too, to capture that student data and make sure that we're supporting them in that way as well. And yes, there's lots to explore. So thank you everyone for taking time out of your Saturday to join us today. And thank you again, Cami. And we will catch you on the next summit, hopefully. Join us next time.
All right. Yeah. Oh, that's the end. That's the end of the summit for today, isn't
The
it?
end of the summit. Yeah.
So make sure you fill out that Logix feedback form, bit.ly/Logix feedback. Fill that at least out once for the day if you've been with us. Thanks again. And we wish you great safety and enjoyment and excitement even as you survey and check out more of Microsoft's AI tools.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.